I absolutely stand against bullying. I stand against harassing others. I stand against maligning them, speaking falsely about them, absolutely trying to intimidate with force and anger. I categorically reject that as a follower of Jesus. But there's a music video, Taylor Swift, of course, it's going viral, and it's against bullying. It's standing up for the LGBT community. It's calling for equality for all. There's even a petition to sign. But I've got some questions for Taylor Swift. How do you feel about misrepresenting others? How do you feel about lying about others? How do you feel about demonizing others? You say, well, that's why I'm speaking up, because that's what all you Christians do to the gay and lesbian community. No, actually, that's what you just did to Christians. Yes, there are some angry people, and yes, there are some homophobes, and yes, there are some people who will harass gays and lesbians at gay pride events and intimidate and bully. Yes, that happens. And 99.9% of Christians around the world and Christians in America have nothing to do with that whatsoever and do not support that at all. In fact, what you have just done is what you're accusing us of doing. It's when some radical Christian activist accuses all homosexuals of being pedophiles and accuses all homosexuals of being sexual predators and all homosexuals with the very worst offenders at a gay pride event. So you're accusing us of doing something. You're doing the very thing to us. The fact is, we want to love our neighbor as ourselves. The fact is, we want to practice love and grace towards all. And we want to be able to practice our religious faith, which says, don't coerce us into doing something that violates our conscience. You're talking about several billion people, at least 2 billion people around the world that don't agree with your position and don't celebrate homosexual practice. Come on. You're wanting to force on us a 15-year-old boy playing on a girls' basketball team. How is that right and fair to the other girls? And how is it right and fair that they have to change next to that boy in their locker room? Isn't that bullying, intimidating? What about the girls that go home crying? What about the girls that hold in, go into the bathroom all day because they're uncomfortable with boys in their bathrooms? What about the cases that are going to court over those things? What about equality for them? What about equality for a creative artist, a florist who says, I'll serve everybody. You can work for me if you're gay and lesbian. Everyone, we work together. But when I'm asked to use my creative arts to do something that violates my conscience, sorry, I can't do it. I'll refer you elsewhere. Are you happy with those people going to court? Are you happy with the courts trying to strip a grandmother, not just of her business, but of her personal assets, her home, a woman in her 70s? Are you comfortable with that? Are you comfortable with kids being bullied by their professors at school, at college and university because they don't support gay and lesbian activism? Can I love my neighbor as myself and be willing to lay down my life for my neighbor without affirming my neighbor's romantic desires and sexual attractions and whatever relationships they're in? You are doing a terrible disservice. You are spreading hatred. You are spreading fear. You are provoking bullying by this very video. So yes, I stand with everyone against bullying, against intimidation, against harassment. And I'm a tolerant person, meaning go ahead and live your life, but do not impose your lifestyle on others. Do not make others agree with your lifestyle. Otherwise, they get penalized. Come on. If I am convinced that a family member of mine that I've known for decades is actually male and wants to be identified as female, is it right to penalize me legally? If I differ with that, is it right in Canada to penalize a father if he refers to his 14-year-old daughter as his daughter and refers to her as she in the privacy of his home? Is it right for him to be arrested as the Canadian court ruled will happen? How about equality? How about tolerance? How about fairness? How about diversity? Taylor, you are standing against every one of these principles in the name of standing with the LGBT community. It's misguided. It is provoking hatred and anger. It is demonizing Christians. It needs to stop.